So, Brian, if you don't mind, do you think you could give us like a little brief introduction? Tell us about yourself and a little bit about your organization.
Sure. My name is Brian Devins. I'm the owner of Upstate Empire Fitness, which is a fitness facility or a gym located in upstate New York. We're about 45 minutes east of Syracuse, if you're familiar with that area.
Cool. Yeah, yeah.
We were established initially as an online company. We started as an online training nutrition company, which was formed in 2012. And then in 2018, we made the jump to brick and mortar. And now we offer our services both virtually and in person as well. But we are a commercial facility that offers free weight training, general memberships, group training, daycare. We have a
Oh,
smoothie.
wow.
So we have quite a few services we offer now.
Yeah, that's great. That's super cool. And so how did you hear about upper room germicidal ultra technology?
So like anyone in the fitness industry or anyone that has a business that was affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, we began researching different ways we can keep our members safe when we return to when we opened again. So I began to look at ways that we can improve air filtration in the facility itself, because that was a big topic for quite a bit of time, especially in New York. I mean, there was talks of air filtration, HEPA filters, and so on and so forth. Now we have a pretty robust HVAC system, and we were able to implement the HEPA filters that were necessary. However, we felt that we wanted to do a little bit more, not only to retain more memberships, but again, just to have another layer of comfort for when people did return. So I began to look at units that went inside of HVAC systems. And then oddly enough, one of the members at the gym worked for a company who actually does the fabrication process of these upper room GUV lights. So he put me in touch with Bill Palmer, and that's when he began to explain to me the upper room system. And the upper room system for us was far better, in my opinion, than going just in the HVAC unit itself, especially for the gym setting. So it was, I heard from just a member, just by speaking of,
Wow.
go about. So I'm just doing some of our own research. I know there's some very robust data online that you can find research with UVC lighting as it is. So the
Mhm.
upper room is very interesting.
Yeah, for sure. And so at what point did you become convinced that upper room GUV would be what was like a good solution for your business?
Um, Aside from just speaking with Bill, the research that they were able to show us, again, UVC lighting has been around for years.
Mhm.
So there was no doubt that the efficacy of this to actually break down the influenza, or just, I know a lot of places will use it for ceasing the spread of tuberculosis, which was great. But the way that Aeromet has designed their products, I think the application was the key for us. Just putting UVC lights, wands, or rolling carts is one thing, but to have a constant cloud of UVC light in my gym at all times, in safe distance away from members. I mean, it was just it's a brilliant idea, and I couldn't be more proud to have it in our facility. So
That's so awesome. Yeah. It's kind of a no-brainer in a way.
yeah,
Um, yeah. And so how long did the installation process take from start to finish?
so from acquisition to full install, I'd say it was probably about 2.5 to 3 weeks. Really,
Okay.
it's rather
Nice.
quick.
Yeah. And so what was the commissioning process itself like? Do you have people come in and take
Yeah,
measurements and stuff like that?
this was fantastic. I really enjoyed this because I had already done some research of my own on UVC lighting. So these guys allowed me to kind of like watch them and breathe over their shoulder a little bit and ask
Mhm.
a million questions. So I was the kid asking 1,000 questions that was probably, not part of their job description, but they accommodated me, and it was fantastic. They came in and they basically did measurements from one end of the gym to another. So they covered every square inch to make sure that there was no UVC being omitted to an individual that would be unsafe. So they did numerous measurements. I think they did in about 2 different days, and they did several different rooms throughout the gym. Lucky for us, it's a pretty wide open setting. So I know there were some pitches to different units they had to make so that because it does travel quite a bit of way. So it does travel a fair distance. So the commissioning process was pretty smooth. I was very impressed with the technicians and everyone that was there for us. So
nice, that's great. And so if you don't mind sharing, how much roughly did it cost you?
So for the units that we had, we were right around $6,000, and I think we were about around 8 after we had an electrician come in and they had to install separate outlets for our designated outlets for these two. So I would say about $8,000 for us.
For sure. And so
for us, it was a pretty easy justification when we broke this out and decided, okay, how many more members we retain and how many new members we acquire through this. And I think that at this point, we've seen over a 30% increase in members in a very short time, which is on the contrary if you look at data from gyms from other states. So
does it spread via word of mouth pretty easily?
Yes,
from members to members,
especially in my town. So I come from a city. Our business in a city is roughly 60,000 people, in a county that's around 225,000. So word of mouth is pretty big around here. And I truly believe that this product that we installed here had a huge impact on people coming back and new members coming in.
Right. And so on that note, how have your clients reacted to the installation? Is anyone worried about it, or are most people pretty okay with having them around?
I would say I'd had 3 people ask, because when people do hear UV lights, they're a little apprehensive because, everything you hear on media, UV is bad for you.
Right.
So it was nice because, again, going back to the commissioning process, having time spent with those technicians, and Bill Palmer himself is, an absolutely phenomenal person. And he takes the time took the time to explain it to me so that I can explain to my members and make them feel comfortable. But I would say, as an overall turnout, we've had an overwhelmingly positive response from our members about that being in there. And I think it feels really good when I hear people say, I just feel safe here, because
that's amazing.
Because there's, not a facility that I know of that has put this in their gym. So in a pretty competitive market that we're in, it feels good that we're going above and beyond for our members.
Yeah. Do you know of any other gyms around that have caught on? And
not around us, but I definitely know that a few of my friends that own facilities have been reaching out. So I think this will be a golden standard in gyms. I believe it should be, especially with these airborne illnesses coming around. So
right. And so also, again, if you feel comfortable sharing, have you had any cases of COVID-19 traced back to your gym? Or
we have not. So we've had about 32,000 check-ins since we've opened in August 24th. And we're proud to say that we have not had any COVID-19 cases traced back to the gym.
Wow. Amazing. That's so awesome.
Yeah, we're really proud of that. And we had a local college, some students that have been coming down here too. So we're really proud of that. And we feel it's not just, the community that we formed here, but, it's the things we've implemented to keep people safe. For
sure. And along the lines of other things you've implemented, have you put in any other layers? So masks, hand washing, social distancing, limiting the number of people.
So everyone in our gym that comes in has to wear a face shield or a face covering. It has to be a mask or a medical grade mask. We do have a few individuals that will use a face shield, like a clear face shield, that is an acceptable form as long as they have a medical condition that says they cannot wear a mask. We do have the upgraded MERV 13 filters that are in our HVAC system, which work well. But we also have 6 portable HEPA filters on the floor that are sending air upwards into the exhaust fans. We also have 2 electrostatic sprayers, which we're using Clo2 or chlorine dioxide, which we are disinfecting the gym with. We have a health check when people come in. So when a member comes in, they scan in from the outside, the door unlocks. They come in, they do a dermal temperature. They record their time in, they record their temperature. They have a COVID-19 affirmation and just a health check so they're not feeling sick and they're feeling good to come into the gym. And then each member also gets their own handheld spray bottle of chemical, which is Clo2, chlorine dioxide. We kind of kept that uniform. It has a really quick, fast dwell time, and it has been shown to kill COVID-19, so that's good.
Cool.
But yeah, I mean, between that, social distancing is a big thing. We've put machines, we've changed the gym around several times during our closure to make sure everything was perfect. We want to make sure members had enough space and they felt comfortable. Our cardio section, we did have to move some things around there. We did go by cutting off every other machine, so you had at least 8 feet between machines. I know we needed 6, but it turned out to be that way as far as square footage.
Yeah.
And yeah, everyone's been phenomenal. I think for us, it's the members taking the time to read the instructions of cleaning the machine before and after use. So it's been fantastic.
Absolutely. Well, I think that's all the questions that we have prepared. Sue, I don't know if you have anything you'd like to add.